you so much. Great energy this morning. I see, I think it's Abuja that is doing that great deal. Thank you for, and right now we're going to start up the program. We told us it's 11 and we're starting 11 on the dot. Yes, I know the whole house is full of educators who are interested and also willing and ready to be able to um, join the energy so that we see what is happening. So without much ado, I'm going to be calling on Lee Marcus to speak. He's just going to give us a little chat. He's going to welcome us and just give us the pace. He's actually the Chancellor of the for Public Affairs. So we're welcoming him to just say a short hello. Thank you.
Thank you, Stella. And
I would
say nice to see you again, but we can't see you. So when you come back, let's get you on screen, okay?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right. So hello, everyone. My name is Lee McManis, and just before my phone locks, just brought to show you, and those in the American Center here in Abuja will be able to see in the back corner of the American Center a portrait of Ambassador Richard Mills and President Tinubu. So I just took a quick picture of that. You can see it later, people here, but I'll hold it up to the camera. You can kind of get an idea of it. And the reason I'm showing that is because it's thanks to Ambassador Mills that we have this program today. He mentioned to me before he departed in the month of January, even earlier than that, late last year, how important he knows the American corners, the American spaces are to American diplomacy, and what an effective tool it is to connect with local people, such as we have here today, both online and in this room. And he told me he and his wife have a tradition of donating an amount at every embassy he's ever worked in to have some kind of special American Spaces event or something related to the American corners. So he agreed to donate, again, out of his own pocket, to have this workshop, this seminar conducted by Stella for the purpose of reaching out to, in this case, Nigerian educators in the STEM field to talk about incorporating AI into that. He thought it was a wonderful idea, and he and his wife blessed it. And again, thanks to him, we have this program with us. And he has since departed. He's now retired, but I want to first thank Stella for agreeing to conduct this workshop, and every educator here in Abuja and across our 30 American spaces online right now that we can benefit from this program. And I will just, I don't have formal remarks other than to say thank you for participating. Thank you for your time to talk about this important topic and potentially glean from the expertise from our facilitator and instructor throughout the course of today, Ms. Stella. And I also want to give a plug for the arts. I have a very artsy side to myself as well. when I came and started talking with the team, I said, well, we have beautiful partners out in Nigeria at these 28 American corners. We have a center here in Abuja and a center in Lagos, and then 28 corners. So they're all called spaces. So it's a grand total of 30. And the center at our consulate in Lagos is spectacular. And I came here, and inside, not so spectacular. So we, as a team, we work to get it into the refurbishment and the facelift that you see today. One component of which is right behind me, this mural. And so I'll end on this mural and this center before the very first event that Ambassador Mills did in Nigeria, and the very last event before he departed was in an American corner. So he was here, and he helped with our ribbon cutting early January, I want to say, for the American Center and the services that we offer here. So he, I know, would be delighted and tickled pink that we have you all online with us, and you all in this room. And so I'll end on that, a note of gratitude. And we do have some formal remarks to kick it off with you. And our deputy cultural attaché is online on a computer right behind me, Ms. Raisa Dukas. So I believe she's going to speak next, if I am right, Stella. So Raisa, are you there?
I am.
Okay,
So
over to you.
So much.
Thank you, Raisa, and good luck.
And thanks, Stella, for being
Yeah,
our
thank
moderator.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, I'm going to be, of course, calling on Raisa to speak. But before that, I would want to talk about who Raisa is before she comes on board. So Raisa Dukas is the acting cultural attaché at the U.S. Embassy Abuja, where she covers the American spaces, emerging voices, and education USA. Previously, she served as the senior program officer of the Bureau of Population Refugees and Migration Office of the Europe and Middle East Assistance. Her previous assignments include Algeria, Bahrain, Lebanon, and Quito, Ecuador. And prior to joining the states, Raisa worked directly as a consultant for several U.S. government agencies, including the U.S. Coast Guard's Department of Homeland Security and Department of Defense. She speaks Arabic, French, and Spanish. Thank you, Raisa, for agreeing to have us at your space. And the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Stella. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for being here today. I would like to recognize those of you participating virtually from the American spaces across Nigeria. As Stella mentioned, my name is Raisa Dukas, and on behalf of the U.S. Mission to Nigeria and American Spaces Nigeria, I want to welcome you to this workshop on STEM teaching with AI simulations for enhanced classroom impact. As Lee mentioned, this program was made possible through the generous funding from our former ambassador, Richard Mills Jr. and his wife, Lee Carter. Ambassador Mills and his wife supported this program in honor of Ambassador Mills' late mother, who was also an advocate for teachers and anything that would help them be more effective in their work. It is in that spirit that we are delighted to host you, mid-career STEM educators and professionals whose work plays a critical role in shaping the next generation of innovators, problem solvers, and leaders. In 2026, we mark the 250th anniversary of the signing of the U.S. Declaration of Independence. The U.S. State Department, as part of that, is charged to deliver a year of activities spanning through the end of 2026, all under the auspices of Freedom 250. Freedom 250 is our global initiative to commemorate U.S. values, patriotism, and global contributions while inspiring the next 250 years of U.S. leadership and innovation in areas like STEM. Within this context, this workshop introduces educators to U.S. AI tools and platforms while emphasizing the ethical and responsible use of technology in the classroom. I am beyond delighted to introduce our three distinguished facilitators, Mr. Christopher Adugba, a data analyst with the Office of the National Security Advisor, who brings valuable expertise in data-driven insights and practical applications of technology, Ms. Fortune Somadina, an IT and content lead at Odyssey Educational Foundation, who focuses on integrating technology into education to achieve meaningful outcomes. And last but not least, Mr. Akene Oyejenka, who is a media and content lead at Odyssey Educational Foundation and is contributing his expertise in digital learning, communication, and content development. Please join me in thanking them for their dedication to advancing STEM education and innovation. I'd also like to take the opportunity to recognize the educators that are here in the room or virtually online. I recognize that educators like you face ongoing challenges, limited resources, large class sizes, and evolving learning demands against the backdrop of obstacles outside of the classroom. Artificial intelligence represents a powerful opportunity to transform teaching and learning by making complex STEM concepts more visual and interactive, increasing student engagement through simulations, and enabling real-time assessment and feedback. Using US AI platforms serves the US national interest while also advancing Nigerian interests. I am confident that today's workshop will equip you with practical, classroom-ready skills to integrate these tools effectively. As you participate in today's session, I encourage you to engage actively in hands-on activities, collaborate with colleagues across locations, and think critically about how to apply these tools within your unique classroom realities. You are not just participants, you are pioneers and leaders in advancing AI-enabled education in Nigeria. In the spirit of Freedom 250, we are reminded that progress depends on those who embrace innovation and expand opportunities for others. I wish you a productive and impactful workshop. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Raisa. Thank you so much. Thank you for that very, very insightful and also reminding us of why we're here and also making us understand that we are just the pilot. And so we should take this serious, teachers. I'm talking to you. So thank you so much for that address. So we'll take some time, just a few minutes, to project the pre-survey, so that we just give you 2 minutes to be able to do that. 2 minutes, teachers, please, if you can scan, you have it on the screen, you can scan that. Otherwise, we're also going to be sending you a link so that you can also, we just give you 2 minutes to be able to scan survey, and then we'll allow you to fill it. This fill it is very, very necessary. We want to know the baselines that where we're starting from. Want to understand why it's necessary to be able to give this. Want to know at what stage or at what stages teachers are. So please, it's necessary for you to fill. You can change it to the link so that those who do not have, who can scan, can actually. You can use the side.
That laptop is not charged.
Are we done with the link? With the can I have feedback? Are you able to?
I don't know. Because of
Please, who is that? Please, are we? Is there any center that is able to pick up the link?
Please also get the links on our platform.
Okay, so I think the link has been shared, and basically we can. Okay, so we can actually get the links from the platform, but I need you to fill them just before the classes start. And I'm going to actually introduce the teachers right now that will be taking us on this journey. So the first person who will be starting the training, his name is Mr. Ekene Stanley. He's going to be taking us through one of the platforms, software platforms that have been developed by the University of Colorado in the USA. And this is the foremost simulation software that is being used all over the world. And as you can see, used in Nigeria too. It's a platform that we all need to see so that we can be able to utilize our classrooms, even the volumes, the numbers, and also ensure that the students learn and learn very well. So without wasting much of the time, I would want to introduce Mr. Stanley to give us his training. He's going to be there for about 15 minutes. If you have questions, you just write them down, and we're going to have time to pick up the question. And when you're writing the question, please you tell us which of the teachers you are you actually, because I will allow the three trainers to go before I begin to take questions. So thank you so much, Mr. Stanley. The floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you for the opportunity. First off, we're here for the STEM teaching with AI simulation for enhanced classroom impact, as we all know. And I'm going to be sharing my slides right about now. Okay. All right. So I'm going to be sharing my slides. All right. So this is my slide. Can everyone see my slide? Hello, I don't know if you can hear me. Can everyone see my slides? Okay.
Yes, but you're not in presentation mode.
Okay. Is this okay? Can everyone see my slide now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So not to waste much of our time, we're here for the STEM teaching, and we're going to be using the PhET interactive simulation for enhanced classroom impact. And first of all, we have to acknowledge the fact that the United States are playing a very important role by integrating AI-powered tools, which reflects the global leadership of United States in the development and advancement of artificial intelligence. And we all know that the United States has been consistently has been consistent at the forefront of the AI innovations as they pioneer breakthrough technologies. And one of these technologies that we're going to be using today is the PhET interactive simulation, which is a learning tool which will demonstrate how these innovations are transforming educations and making learning more engaging and accessible and equally effective as well. So we really appreciate the United States for making such a platform available to us. So moving on, we're here for the PhET interactive simulation. That's what we're going to be learning, and I'm going to be a facilitator for that. Now, the PhET interactive simulation was founded by the University of Colorado, and it is a free software. The PhET interactive simulation is a free software that teaches science and mathematics, and it doesn't just teach just to the student; it also teaches the teachers as well on how to conduct experiments without having to use an actual laboratory. That is why it is called a simulation. Simulations are just like representations or imitations of real life situations that help students to understand better. So it creates intuitive and game-like environment to engage the students. So moving on, we're looking at the shift in learning from the traditional method to the and how PhET interactive simulation has been able to make such shift um, wonderful. How it has been able to change static delivery of lectures, how it has been able to remove the reliance of memorization, back-to-back memorization, and the struggles on how to convey dynamic processes for students. It's been able to give us platforms that are dynamic and game-like environment. And we all know that when students engage themselves in game-like environment, it equally makes them want to learn more. They'll have the zeal, and they would want to learn for themselves without being pushed around to do that. Now it gives the students a better sense of engagement. That is, it makes them to engage better while they are learning as well. So moving on, the PhET interactive simulation comes with a lot of advantages. The advantages of the PhET interactive simulation cannot be overly emphasized. And number one, here we have the scores, the retention, the preparation, and the motivation. Motivation in the sense that the teachers report students increase in students participation, and we know that when you commend your students for performing well on a particular subject, they would want to put more effort the next time. So we equally see how the PhET interactive simulation has made it easy and safe, and giving the student a risk-free environment. That is, when they partake in experiments virtually, it keeps them safe from risk. They get to do experiments and still be safe as well while performing these experiments. Now, it equally provide seamless subjects for the students. That is, the environment of the PhET provide multiple subjects. So the students are not just learning one particular subject, they are open to learning different topics as well. And like we said, the importance of the PhET cannot be overly emphasized. It equally provides 100 languages, and it provides a scenario whereby these simulations can be downloaded, so you would not have to worry about always having to be online before you can use these simulations. Moving on, I believe everyone is following. Can everyone hear me? Is everyone still following, please? I don't know if everyone can still hear me. Okay. I can see that. Okay. Now let's just continue. Okay. Thank you very much. Um, Now, the the PhET interactive simulations equally has its limitations as well, and one of that will be technology access. People who live in areas whereby they don't have a low bandwidth of network, or no network accessibility, they may have a little constraint accessing the PhET interactive simulations. So now, the PhET interactive simulation, it simplifies concept for the students. The important thing of the PhET is that it simplifies um, learning for the student. It makes it easy. It gives them an interactive platform whereby they'll be able to engage themselves and learn as well. So that is all for my slide, and I'm going to be moving on to show you the PhET interactive simulation platform, and we're going to be um, trying out simulations as well. So one of the ways of accessing the website of the PhET interactive simulation is by going to your browser. I already have it opened on my browser, so I'm just going to walk you through on how to open it on your own browser. So it is you can use Google Chrome for it. Me, I use Google Chrome for mine. You can equally go to the website and just type phet.colorado.edu. The website is phet.colorado.edu. When you do that, the first website that pops up when you search for that is the PhET interactive simulation, and I have it opened on my browser already, which is this. This is what the um, platform is supposed to look like. This is what the PhET interactive simulation interface is supposed to look like. Now, as you can see here, it supports the science and mathematics, and the the meaning of the acronym PhET stands for physics, education, and technology. That is the meaning of the acronym PhET. Now, um, we have simulations here. Now, when we click on, I believe you all can see my cursor. I'm hovering around the simulations here, and that is where I'm trying to explain. So we have an option to display all our simulations. Sims is a short word for simulations. We have an option to display all our simulations. We have options to just be specific and go straight to the topic the topic you want, the subject rather you want to teach, which is physics. You could go for maths and statistics, chemistry, the earth and science, and the biology. So for our learning today, we're going to be making use of a we're going to be making use of a topic in physics. I'm going to be using that to explain the PhET interactive simulation for today. So we're going to be making use of a subject in physics, of a topic in physics rather. So we're going to be making use of force and motion. I click on, if I want to search for a particular, if I have a particular um, topic in mind that I want to teach my students, all I need to do is, instead of having to go over and over, trying to search for the particular simulation you want, you can just come to this search bar, this icon that looks like a microscope. That is your search bar. I believe everyone can see this. Okay, very good. I'm seeing the thumbs up, which means everyone is following. So let us continue. So I come to this icon that looks like a microscope. I click on it, and it breaks down the drop down option. Then I click on force and motion. Force and motion basics. So this is what we are going to be using for our today's simulation. So I click on it. Okay, now I've clicked on that. Now this is it. This is the next interface it displays. Now force and motion basics. I click on display icon displaying here right in the middle of this picture, display option. I click on it, and when I click on it, it moves me further for my simulation. I have to wait a bit for it to load. Now, under this force and motion basics, we have other topics. Under we have the net force, the motion, the friction, and the acceleration. But today we're going to be working with friction. So I click on friction. This is it. Now this is what the friction interface looks like. And below it, you will see option for home. Below it, right below the interface of the friction, you see an option for home, a net force, and the previous topics we saw before coming into friction. So this is what it is supposed to look like. I believe everyone is seeing my screen. I don't want to, I just want to be sure that everyone is following on this particular teaching. Okay, thumbs up again. Okay, means someone's following. Okay, very good. Now, moving on. Now, this particular, as you can see here, we have we have a refrigerator, we have a box, a girl, a man, a bin, and a box. Now, all these are going to be used as our object, and this particular subject here that looks like a robot is going to be our subject of demonstration for today. And right by this corner, this you see an option for force, sum of forces, value, masses, the speed, and the stopwatch. Now it's advisable to turn all of this on so that it will help while we're calculating for anything that we want to calculate. So we turn on some of our forces, we turn on our values, we turn on our masses, the speed, which displays our speedometer. Now below that, we have the option for friction. And we can either increase this our level of friction or we can reduce it entirely. Then or we can just keep it to an average, just keep it at the middle for the level of friction we want. Then we have an option for the pause, we have an option for the play, we have another option right here for to restart. That is, if we performed the experiment to a certain extent and want to start all over again, we have an option to restart that. And like we earlier mentioned, all these are going to be our object. We have a refrigerator of 200 kg, 50 kg, the 40 kg, the girl of 40 kg, the man of 40 kg, which displays their masses. Then we equally have we equally have our numerical control down here, which shows our applied force. And with this numerical control, we can use this to either increase the value of force or we can either decrease the value of force as well using this numerical control. Now we're going to be starting off with something very basic as much as possible. Now we're going to be using this experiment, this particular simulation, to explain um, Newton's law of motion. And after doing that, we're going to perform some practicals to be sure that we're all on the same page as well. So first of all, we're going to be using this our subject, which is this thing that looks like a robot, to and we all know that we are going to be using this. Okay, now if we push this box, I believe you all can see my screen. If we push this box, it displays the friction force from the right side and the applied force from the other side. And this explains Newton's third law of motion. Yes, this explains Newton's third law of motion that says that for every reaction, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That is, if there's a frictional force coming from the right side, there's equally um, an applied force coming from the left side. And we know that forces comes in pair. They may be of the same magnitude, but they will always be opposite in direction. That is the same force I apply on this box from the right side. This is my box of 50 kg from the right side is equally the same force applied. That is, this force is holding it to another particular position. So first of all, I'm going to be trying to figure out, my aim here is to figure out how much force will be required to move this particular box. So I keep on increasing this. I hold on to, I believe everyone is seeing what I'm doing. I hold on to this my subject, which is this thing that looks like a robot. Once I hold on to it, I move it as if I'm pushing my box. Now, as I keep doing this with my cursor, my frictional force and my applied force continue to increase. If you can see this, it is increasing my frictional force and my applied force. Now, I keep on increasing this until I'm able to get a particular force that will be able to move this my box. Now, I've gotten the right force, which is 129 applied force, which has moved this my box. And then my static force, which was 130, now transformed into a kinetic force of 93 Newton, giving me a sum force, which is the net value of the forces of 37 Newton. Now I'm going to start all over. Now I'm going to stop this and I would want to explain a bit. I believe everyone is following. Is everyone following? Please, if you're following, I want to see a thumbs up. Okay, very good. Okay, very good. Okay, very good, very good. Okay. So now I'm going to explain this. Sorry. Okay, now let us change. Now let me remove this my box and bring in a refrigerator. This can equally be changed as well. I can either use any of this Now, if I restart this, I should always remember to turn on all this, the sum of the forces, the values, the masses of the objects, then the speedometer, which calculates the velocity at which the object is moving. This is our speedometer. The aim of the speedometer is to calculate the velocity at which our object is moving. Now, I want to explain the static force, the static friction, sorry, and the kinetic friction. Now, if you observe carefully, while pushing this refrigerator, while we use our object to push our refrigerator, the friction force and the applied force remains the same. But the moment our refrigerator begins to move, you see that our friction force, the value of our friction force, which is 65 Newton, as you can see here, will change into another value. And why is because the static friction. Now, what is holding this refrigerator in place is static friction. But the moment our object begins to move, it changes from a static friction to a kinetic friction. And static friction is a force that prevents an object from starting or like from starting to move. Like the static friction is what prevents our refrigerator leaves this particular place where it is now. It transforms into a kinetic friction, which gets our refrigerator moving. And now, if you see this, now we keep on increasing our forces. We keep on increasing our forces until our refrigerator starts to move. We keep on increasing the forces. We keep on increasing the forces until it starts to move. And as you can see, it was quite easier when we were using the box of about 50 kg. It was quite easy to move the box. But you see that the mass of the refrigerator is different from that of the box. And that is why we have to apply much force in order to be able to move this. And we keep on increasing this we're able to get our refrigerator to move. Now it keeps on increasing. Now we've been able to move our refrigerator at at an applied force of 495 Newton, which is the SI unit of force, and then the static friction automatically changes to 368 Newton, which gives us a sum of forces of 127 Newton. And how we came about and how we got this force is the applied force, which is on the right hand side, minus the value for the net force. And the net force is the sum of all the forces applied on this particular object. So we've been able to find out how much force we can add to each of these objects to be able to move them. Okay, now let us try another one. Let us try where there are a lot of examples here to try. Okay, now let us bring in our box of 50 kg. No, let us start over this again. Now let us bring in our box of 50 kg. Remember to always turn all of this on. We bring in our box of 50 kg. Now let us bring in our man of about 80 kg. Now we want to find out how much force will be exerted on this box to be able to move both the box and the man that is on top of the box. Now, this will equally help to answer the questions of, you know, sometimes you may ask that what will happen if heavier objects are used. Like we used the box initially, and the box is about 50 kg, which did not require much force to be able to move it. We used the refrigerator, which required more to move the box, to move the refrigerator rather. So now we're going to find out how many um, newton of force will be needed to move both this man and the box all together. So, like I said before, you click on your subject, which is this guy that looks like a robot, and then we bring them close to the box. And as you can see here, we need to keep on increasing this. We need to keep on increasing this, and you know that the weight of the man and the box are both combined. So now we increase this to about, okay, let's just say about 321 Newton to be able to move both the man and the box together, and it gave us a net force of about 82 Newton. Now our speedometer is we can equally see from our speedometer the speed at which, the velocity at which they are using to move. Now, if we want this to move faster, we can equally increase the force at which we are using to push both the box and the man for it to move faster. Now, if we don't want to have to increase our force too much, we can equally turn off our friction. We can equally turn off our friction. We can either decide to turn off our friction to none. Now, you know that when we turn off our friction, there's nothing holding the box to a static to a static state anymore. So that is any, no matter how little the force is you use to push the box, it will move because there's no friction holding it to a particular place anymore. Please, is everyone still following? Okay, I can still see some thumbs up, which means everyone is following on this particular um, lesson. So now we've turned off our friction. I believe you saw where I did that. This part where they said friction. So I turned it down to none, and now I've turned off my friction entirely, and it has given us a different interface. This it has removed the friction entirely. So now, if we bring in our subject closer to our box, to bring our subject closer, you see that we didn't even need to apply too much force. At an applied force of 92 Newton, we've been able to move our box. And now, if you notice here, there is no, like, we only have one applied force, and that is because there's no friction fighting our movement anymore. There's no friction fighting our force anymore. Now we've been able to now we've been able to move our box, and it is moving freely, and it will continue moving like this because there's no friction. We've removed our friction. Now, friction is what helps us to, when we walk, we don't slide on the floor. Now, friction, if you notice, if you have maybe if you've been wearing a pair of shoe for a long period of time, the sole may begin to lose friction because of you've worn it for a very long period of time. And with that, now you may not be able to, if you're able to come across maybe a slippery environment, you will be you there will not be any form of friction to hold you in a particular state. You may easily slide and you may easily fall. Why? Because there's no friction under that particular pair of shoes that you are wearing. And this our box now will continue to move. Why? Because the friction has been removed entirely. Now, if we want to stop this, we can either pause this here or we can refresh it. We can equally start it from the beginning. Now, I want to explain this numerical control down here. Now, if I don't want to use my cursor to move my subject, I can do that from the numerical control. Sorry. Now, how I can do that by, thank you. Now I can do that by coming to my numerical control to either click on this button. Now, if I click on this, it changes my force by 50. So this it has given me a force of about 15 Newton. I can either increase or decrease this. Now, if I continue to increase this, it will be adding. Now at a force of 150 Newton, I've been able to move my box, and the sum of the forces is 58 Newton. So this helps the students to better understand the concept of friction. It helps the students to better understand the concept of friction. And like I said before, one of the things we're going to be able to learn at the end of the day is that this is the best way to explain the Newton's law of motion, which we saw that this box was in a particular state until it was acted upon by an external force. That is, we brought in our subject to be able to push our box. And not just that, that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, which means when we were trying to push our box, there was another force contradicting the force at which we are using to push our box as well. So um, I don't know if everyone followed me up to this point. I don't know if everyone followed me up to this point. Okay, okay. I can see some thumbs up. Okay, very good. Okay. So I believe we've come to the end of the class. So Don't know if there are any questions. Okay, like they said, questions should be sent and it will be asked later on. So I believe we've come to the end of this lesson. Hello, Mr. Stella. I don't know if you okay. I don't know if the questions will be asked now or later. Hello, Ma, can you hear me? Oh, hello, Ma, can you hear me? Okay, thank you very much. And like we said before, um, one of the importance of this our threat interactive simulation is that it makes learning easy. It makes learning easy for the student. And with something like this now, you can explain. You don't have to take your students outside in the field to tell them to push a particular box or tell them to move one thing or the other. You can just easily use the PhET interactive simulation like this to explain the Newton's law for them, explains how friction comes in play, types of we have kinetic frictions, static frictions, calculation of net value, which is the net force, which is the sum of all the forces exerted on an object. So with something like this, you don't need to take the student to a physical lab. This can be done virtually. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for listening. Okay. I think we still have um, more time. We should try out more example. Okay. Okay. I think we should try out one more example. I think we should try out one more example. Very good. Now we're going to be explaining. Sorry. Now let's try out one more example, please. Okay. Now we're going to be explaining net force. Very good. And this is something similar to what we did for our friction, the sum of the forces, the value, and we turn on our speedometer. Now, this is something similar to tug of war. I don't know if any of you remember the tug of war. This is something similar to that. Now we're going to be trying out how much force will be needed to move this our crane, either to this our box rather to either to the left hand side or to the right hand side. Okay, hold on. Now these are all our objects. These they vary in sizes, so we can either choose from any of them, and we can either bring this to this side. So if we bring up this our object, it displays the force, the sum of the forces, which is 150 Newton, and it displays where the force is going to, which is to the left hand side. Now we can equally bring this to our right hand side. When we set this, if we want to um, begin the experiment, we click on go, and if you click on go, they are both trying to pull this crate in the middle to either the right hand side or the left hand side. Now the both forces acting on the two sides are equal. The both forces acting on the two sides are equal, so this will not move. Now let us try something else. The both forces, this is 150 Newton on the left hand side and this is 150 Newton on the right hand side. So let us try to add. Now let us pause this. We can equally pause this as well, and let us try to bring in another subject to the left hand side. Now the force has changed to 100 to 250 Newton on the left hand side. Now if you click on go, you see that it will be pulling it to the left hand side. Why? Because the force exerted on the left hand side is higher than that of the right hand from the right hand side. And we've stated earlier on that the sum of our value is gotten by the applied value minus the friction, the applied force minus the friction force will give us our sum of forces. That is the force coming from the left hand side and the right hand side. If you minus it, it gives you the sum of the forces being exerted on this crate or box or whatever you want to call it to be able to move it. And the force coming from the left hand side is more, which is, as you can see here, I'm moving my cursor around it, which is the 250 Newton is more, and that is why it's pulling it more to the left hand side. But if we want to we pause it now, let us add more. Let us add someone smaller to this. Let's add someone smaller to this. Now you see that the forces are not equal. Why? Because we've added someone smaller, and the force is giving us about 200 Newton from the right hand side, and the left hand side still remains higher, which is about 250. So if we play this in motion, you see that those on the left hand side are still pulling it. That is because the force coming from that side is more than the force on the other side. And let us try to balance this. Let us try to balance this by, let us take away this. Sorry, let us take away this and bring in this particular person. Now the forces are balanced. Sorry, someone trying to say something. Okay, okay. So let us move on. Now the forces are balanced. As you can see, it's 250 Newton from both sides. Sorry, did someone say something? Okay. Now the forces are balanced. Now there's a 250 Newton from the left, and there's another 250 Newton opposing it from the other side. And you click on go. Oh wow! You see that the left side. Oh, very good, very good. It shows that the force. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, okay, very good. I think someone was trying to say something. Sorry about that. So we can equally try out this experiment as much as possible. We can try to bring in this bigger object to the starting point and take a smaller object to the ending of it, and bring in a bigger object on this side, and bring in let's try something different. Let's bring in another object. Now remember to always turn on your value. As you see here, we did not turn on the sum of our values, the sum of our forces, our values, and our speedometer is not turned on. So we cannot see any of the value. But if we do that, they all come on. As you can see, the forces, the force coming from the right hand side is more than that of the left hand side, and that is why it is pulling us more to the right hand side. So, um, So, like I said before, this better explains Newton's law of motion, and with this, the students should be able to understand um, that better. Okay, I see some hand raised up for questions.
Yes, so thank you, Mr. Kenneth. Thank you so much. Yeah. I also have
Okay,
seen
okay,
a
thank
lot
you.
of times raised up. I'm not sure. Well, I think I have a few minutes with left for Mr. Kenneth. That's why I'm going to be taking the questions. Right? I mentioned that I wasn't going to take questions until after, but it's okay. I will take one or two questions. I can see Unilag. I can see American Spaces Department. I can see on Facebook. I can also see some um, questions
Force
on
is
the chat.
stated from the right hand side more than that of the left. Sorry, someone says putting us more to the right.
Link.
Hello. Okay. So I can see questions. I'm going to be able to take one or two questions. So can we have Unilag? Unilag, can you unmute?
Good day, ma'am.
And ask your question.
All right, ma'am. Thank you for this opportunity. I just want to ask that is this workable for all subjects? Because discovered that mostly the facilitator is using physics as a case study. Is it workable for all the sciences? And then secondly, I just discovered that I look at countries, Nigeria, where there are places where internet facilities is a huge issue. There's issue with power generation. How can we integrate this laudable idea into classrooms in the hinterland, um, aside urban cities like Lagos?
Yes, I will take one more question.
Hello, I have a question from Ibadan. Okay. Yes. So can you hear us?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Yes.
Good morning, please. My question is, how can we use stimulation to assist a student in the class on questions has to do with calculation, especially those topics that we are explaining using stimulation? That is one. Number two, do we only use stimulation for science-oriented students or other departments? Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So basically, Mr. Okay, I see. Okay, please, you can bring down your hands if you have asked your questions. You can bring down your hands so that we can be sure of the people who are yet to answer. So I also called WA Zaria. You can unmute and ask your question. Mr. Stanley, please, I hope you're noting the questions.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
I'm seeing WOA Zaria. Please unmute and ask your question.
Okay, good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Okene Sally, for that presentation. I am from Adugba University area. I'm running my PG program. My question is, I used to teach mathematics. Hello? Okay, my question is, I used to teach mathematics on Google Meet. And I don't know whether it is possible to connect Google Meet with this PhET simulation for mathematics.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for your question. We're going to also take from Uyo Windows so that we can just answer all those questions together. Thank you. Uyo Windows, you can unmute and.
Okay, good morning. My name is Paul. I want to find out, since during the simulation, I saw the net force and total force. Is there any way we can simulate for acceleration? Because looking at Newton's second law of motion, we can calculate from there. So how can we show the students how to simulate for acceleration? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let me take the last one from Unilag. Unilag Windows, please.
Okay, thank you so much for the presentation. I was actually thinking with someone else behind, is it possible that I observed that it was basically using some basic physics examples and all of that. Can we look at complex situation or complex questions related to physics? Like take, for example, if I'm to look at the example you cited, can we look at things like resolution of vectors, and other advanced things that they may not necessarily be able to do easily as such. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I think I would let Mr. Kene answer some of those questions for now before I take any other question. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you everyone for listening, and I heard the question, so I'm going to be answering the questions. So now, for like I stated earlier on, we just decided to use the topic physics and that of the friction as an example, and after that um, we did for net force. We just use this as an example. Now, it doesn't just the effect interactive simulation is not just confined to physics. Like I said before, under the simulations, there are other subjects as well. We are physics, there are mathematics, chemistry, earth and science, and biology. So when we enter the mathematics, there are a lot of objects. Now, there are a lot of a lot of topics there rather. Now, it's not just one of the things about the FET interactive simulation is that it is it is for all levels. That is, it's both for those in university, both those in secondary school as well. Even topic down to number pairs, comparison, greater than, less than. As you can see here, there are a lot of topics under the mathematical aspect. There are means of shares of balance, calculus, number play, number comparison. So it's not just confined to physics alone, but we just use that physics as an example. So it's not just confined to physics. And someone asked, okay, I think this answers the question of if it is possible to teach FET in mathematics. Yes, it is possible to teach mathematics using the FET interactive simulation. And someone asked if it was possible to teach more complex subjects. Yes, and you can equally click on, and like I said before, you can use the search option to search for any topic of your choice. So if you're looking to go into a more complex subject or topic for the students, you can search for that. And I saw someone asking for, I think the person said, I saw someone asking, hold on, let me, okay, this person was asking how we can apply, if you can apply FET in teaching computer science and robotics. Well, the thing is, it is very effective, but on our FET interactive platform, it does not give us an option for computer science and robotics. It does not give us option. It is just focused on science subjects like physics, maths, chemistry, and biology. It does not give us option for that yet. Um, Someone asked if can a teacher in primary school use the FET to train primary school people who offer subjects like maths, basic science, ICT, and geography. Yes, for that of the maths and the basic science, yes, you can do that. It covers, because I believe under the basic science is physics and chemistry and a little bit of environmental science. So I believe they all fall under. We have an option for earth science here. So I believe yes, you can use the FET interactive simulation to teach people. And she said, are these subjects available in the FET simulation, or can we improvise with available subjects like maths? The option for the maths is available in FET interactive simulation. So yes, you can use the FET interactive simulation to teach maths and basic science, which include physics and chemistry. What other question? I think that's all the question I was able to take down. Don't know. I don't know if I've been able to answer for some of the questions.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, thank you, Mr. Kene. I think we've been able to answer a lot of those questions. And you know what? University of Colorado just gathered a lot few science teachers, because I know when they started with this project, like 8 years thereabout ago. If you go there, the things that were there were very scanty. But they have kept on and on and on to add things. And I know that at the end of this program, we're really working on you to even be able to develop your own scenes yourself. So whatever you want to teach the student, you should be able to do it with some additional leverage that we're working on being able to get. So, but apart from that, basically, I see the most questions were just around what you can use it to teach. This is not the only simulation thing we're going to want to put you through, but we're going to.
Yes.
This is just number one. And so, but I saw more questions from Mina and Abuja, and I think they said somebody from Benin. But if you can do well to help us put those questions on so that we can get the second trainer to start, and then we can answer those questions afterwards. We really want to keep to time, yeah. So please, I crave your indulgence to be able to call on the second trainer, so that we can have the questions typed, and then I will take it from there after that. So the next simulation ability we're going to see is that, you see, for FEDS, 80% of it is done already for you. All you just need to do is to log in and begin to work and begin to show your students. You have to understand a lot of things before you can go through it. But we have another one called developed by GitHub. GitHub is another American company that is doing so well. When I began to learn how to use GitHub is when I began to code. You put all your codes on GitHub and you call somebody across any part of the world, and the person is able to go in and look at your codes and tell you, oh, you made a mistake here. It was a collaborative site. Before they now develop, when AI began to come in, there's need for simulation and all that, they moved into ensuring that, oh yes, apart from being just coding, apart from coding and writing it yourself, you should be able to, okay, they have provided a cloud where you can actually use AI to write those codes and then place those codes in that space, and then it will be able to give you what you want in your classroom. And so we're going to be calling on Fortune Somadina. She's going to be space, which is mentioned, an American organization that is doing so well, amazingly well, and making sure that teachers can teach the way they want to teach, and the best way the students understanding that we have. So they have also
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Please indicate that you can hear me. Thank you very much. So my name is Fortune Samonia. Thank you so much, Mr. Stella, for the welcome. I'm going to be teaching something very interesting, but it's quite complex, so please bear with me. I'll try to be as slow as I can. So first of all, we are diving into the world of artificial intelligence. And we all know that the United States, they are currently leading the AI race. So this is basically a huge one. And then we're going to be talking about how to create simulations with this AI tool I'm going to be teaching you guys about. So let me start my screen share. I hope you can see my screen as well. Please indicate that you can see my screen. Okay, so what are we doing today? We're going to create simple interactive activities that will help students. Basically, for the teachers that teach things like civic education, social studies, I'm going to do something, a simulation on that. And I'm also going to do a simulation on chemistry. So we're going to help students understand key moments in US history, for example, for subjects of history. So we're going to use a digital tool to make learning engaging and visual. So how can you use this when you get back to your classroom? For people teaching history, civic education, and other subjects, you can teach timelines. Can we still hear me? Okay. Okay. So in Nigeria, we know that we don't always have all the history textbooks. We don't always have all the facilities to teach. Even our libraries, our practical laboratories, we don't have all that. So that's the necessity of things like simulations. They are basically there. They are the virtual, when we had the whole COVID-19 saga, when we're having online classes, this is what simulations will help you do. When you cannot have the physical thing, you can have the online thing. You can explore history without actually going back in time. So we're going to be talking about GitHub. Mrs. Stella has already introduced what GitHub is. First of all, GitHub is an American company that was founded in San Francisco. So kudos to the United States for all the wonderful platforms that they have built, allowing a lot of people to be able to make such advancements in artificial intelligence and IT. So the core development of code spaces is US-led. So this is an example of how modern American innovation can support how we teach students anything. But we're talking about American freedom because we're celebrating freedom. All right. Confusing initially, but let's break it down. So I'll explain if I mention a word that you do not understand, I'll definitely go over it. So GitHub is a cloud-based platform that acts as a central hub for developers to store, manage, track, and share software code. So basically, it's for teachers, you're going to be developers. Even if we're going to use AI to code, we're developers, whether the AI likes it or not. So with GitHub, you can make, instead of having, if me currently in Abuja, I'm writing a code, and I want to share it with someone in Bauchi, for example, I can use GitHub to share my code and we work on it at the same time. Like, it's not like I'll work on it, then I'll wait for like the next 2 hours, and then I'll now send the code to the person. But this one, you work on it at the same time. It's for something called version control. So it's like a social coding platform. It's just like you have a social engagement. Let me say you go to a party, a birthday party, or maybe you go for like a bridal shower. Instead of doing something that you normally do in the bridal shower, GitHub is like you're coding in a party, something like that. So this is what the GitHub platform looks like. I'm going to walk you through it once we start creating our simulation. There are some words here that might seem new to you, but there's going to be a document that will share to you at the end of this class, and you'll be able to understand every single thing. So now, the main tool we're using is GitHub Code Spaces. GitHub Code Spaces is like this simple online. It runs in your browser. You don't have to install anything. So some issues with some people coding or writing codes or using certain tools is that they have to download it to their systems, and their system might not have space, or they don't know how to do the whole installation. But that's the good thing. You can write everything you're going to do online. and it saves automatically, so you don't have to be scared of losing your files. So it's basically an equipped computer in the cloud. I'm going to explain what the cloud is in a few minutes. It's basically an fully equipped computer. Everything you want is already there, but it's just in your web browser. That is very mind-blowing. So now let me explain what the cloud is. The cloud is a network of remote servers hosted on the internet used to store, manage, and process data rather than using your local computer. I don't know if you've watched movies where you go into a room and you see multiple computers lined up, not like laptops. They just look like CPUs lined up. That's what the cloud is, but the cloud is not visible. It's a virtual computer for storage, for managing data and processing data. A lot of people using iPhones, or if you use Google Photos, or you use Google Drive, if you use iCloud, those things are basically virtual storage on the internet. They are not physical. So that's what the cloud basically is. So that's how a GitHub Codespaces works. It is cloud-based. You don't have to worry about your computer lagging or whatnot. So now this is your default GitHub Codespaces. It looks like an integrated development environment, which is where you write codes. It looks like the original Visual Studio Code, but this is GitHub Codespaces. You didn't have to install, like, even if I don't have GitHub Codespaces, VS Code on my laptop, I can use GitHub Codespaces and I'll be able to run my app and everything. So we're definitely going to go through all this. So if you're feeling confused, I understand. Let's breathe in and breathe out. It's going to be something very simple. You're basically trying to raise a discussion, the American Revolution with students. So we're going to be going through it together. This is the prompts we're going to be using. So I'll unshare this screen.
Yeah, so
Sorry, also sorry about that. I'm back. Yes, there was a slight glitch. Can we hear me now?
yes, we can hear you.
All right. So I'm going to be sharing, thank you so much. I'm going to be sharing my GitHub screen so we can start on it. All right. So this is it now. Okay. So this is the GitHub workspace, right? Repository is the first thing we're going to do now is to create a repository on GitHub. Let me show you how to get to GitHub in case you want to follow through. Just go on your Google Chrome or any browser you use and search GitHub. And then you create an account. I'm already logged in, so it takes me directly to my GitHub dashboard. So we're going to come here, we're going to see something called a repository. A repository is basically like an online file for you. It's basically an online file. And then we're going to click on new to create a new repository. So I'm going to click on new. I'm walking us through the steps, how we're going to access our code space. So repository name, let's use Freedom 250, for example. Then we can choose our visibility. Do we want people to be able to see it or not? I'll choose private. We're going to add a README. A README is basically you labeling your repository. So if you share it with someone, they can go to the README file and understand what you're trying to do. So we can decide to go for no license, but I'll just search MIT license and select that one. And then we're going to create our repository. GitHub is a very, very vast and, would I say, complex platform. So I'm going to only be showing you the important things that you need for creating your simulation. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a branch. So if, for example, I want to test if something is working, if I have, okay, let's imagine I bake and I have an already made cake batter and I want to recreate that cake batter, or I want to experiment on it to know if chocolate chips will be good in it or if adding banana would be good. I wouldn't put it on the main batter. I would maybe divide that batter into two and have like one for experimenting. So that's what a branch is. We're creating a new section so we don't have to edit directly on the main one, right? So in case you've done a lot of things on your main, but you want to pivot and like do something else, but you don't want to affect the main, that's what it means, creating a new branch. So I'm going to click on view all branches and it's going to take me here. Then I can select new branch. So new branch is 250, for example. Okay, let me name it American US Rev. So create new branch. Remember the source is on main. So you can see my new branch. So I'm going to click on it and it's going to load. Don't worry, we're getting to the fun part. This part is very technical, so it's a bit confusing. So the next thing we're going to do, as you can see, we're already on the US Rev branch, the one we just created. This is the main branch. This is US Rev branch. Are we following up until this time? Please, can we confirm that we're following? Thank you, thank you. So we're currently on US Rev, and then we're going to click on code. And then you're going to click on create code space on US Rev. And that's what we're going to do. Then it's going to redirect us to a new screen and it will be setting up our code space. All right, here we are. I'm going to go down. I'm going to move to get my prompts. So let me quickly get the prompts that we'll be using. Okay. All right. So the space is setting up. We're going to wait for everything to load, our virtual computer to load. Okay, so as you can see, it's creating files for us, right? You can see that it's creating files for us automatically. That README file that we selected, it created it for us. And I selected a license. It also created a license page for us. So the most important thing we're doing today, remember, we're using AI. We are not the ones writing the code ourselves. We're just using prompts to write the code. So our virtual space is set up. So I'm going to come here and I'll paste my prompts. Okay, please let's hold on. Okay, it's still setting up. Okay. If you look at the terminal, you're going to see some action, something is happening. So let's wait for that to be done. Okay. All right, so I believe our space is ready now. Still selecting this document. So the prompt is refusing to load. So let me just open what I already generated it already. So let's open it directly. So sorry about the delay. Okay, let's just quickly tell you something because it's not pasting what, okay, it's pasted what I copied. Okay, so create an animated interactive web simulation about the American Revolution for classroom use. So something about prompts, writing prompts, people think it's just easy to write prompts that once you just go on ChatGPT, just tell ChatGPT, I want this, I want that, so do this and do that. It's not that easy. That's why there are some people that actually pay to be prompt engineers. So prompt engineering, the more concise what information you give the AI, the more concise output you get. So we hear that computers are garbage in, garbage out. If you just tell the computer, okay, make me, let me say we want to tell the computer to make a sandwich for us, it's going to generically make any kind of sandwich. But if you want specifically, okay, no onions, no tomatoes, cut it in a triangle shape, you have to specifically write that. So I just gave the AI a generic prompt, and we're going to see what it will generate. So it's getting ready. So the AI is doing most of the work. We don't have to really do anything. Though you can decide, okay, I want to write the code myself. So you create your file and everything, but then you now tell the AI to modify. But for us, we're going to directly tell the AI to do everything for us. You can modify right here. So as you can see, it's already working. So when you create a chat session, and when you ask the AI to do something, create something called a session. So that's the work is currently doing, the workspace is currently working on. Okay, so you can allow anything it asks for, we just allow. Because the AI is doing the work for us, so we're like, just go ahead. So let me load this page. This is already built, the one I already worked on. So I'm going to show us something. Okay, still setting up. Please, are we following? Please, are we following? Are we still following?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So the AI itself created this document. It's filled in the README documents. Everything it's about, the educational goals and whatnot. As you can see here, you can always edit this by yourself. It's not set in stone. And this is the code that the AI generated. Like I said, we didn't have to do anything. We just told the AI, this is what I want. So let's test what it did. We're going to test using something called pods. Pods are basically the preview link for your design, for your website, because whatever this AI creates it opens on a website. So a port allows you to view it. So this is the port we used. It's also going to be indicated on the documents. So this is what the AI created for us. This is what it created. So we can choose one and you can see it highlighted on the map. Anytime the AI makes changes, we make sure we reload. If not, we're not going to see the changes. So let's play timeline animation. Select an event to view. So if we click on an event, you see the details. I believe it's still working. Yes, it's still working. So that's why when I reload, you see something happening. The one that's going to make it more, okay. So it's basically summarizing what it did for us and then it's done. So let's go and reload again. Okay, so let's click play timeline animation. It's also surprising to me because we told AI to do something and we just want to see what the AI has done. So I gave it quite a generic prompt, so it's not going to be as effective. But let's try a more interesting simulation. Our chemistry teachers will be so excited for this one because you don't have to call the students every time to the chemistry lab. So let's load this one. Yes, this is titration. This is my favorite, the one out of all the ones I've worked on. I really enjoyed this one. So we're going to open the ports. Okay. So we're going to open the port now. Okay, copy the wrong ports. Okay, so I'm going to paste and enter. Okay, so it's running. Okay, now this is the wrong one. Okay, yeah. Okay. So it's loading our port and then it will ask us to open on the internet on our browser now. We have to wait for it to load. While we're waiting, let's check out the files we created. These are programming languages. You're seeing .css, .js, .html. These are programming languages used to build this simulation that we're about to run. And they're the most basic. You can learn them as a teacher, fine. You can learn them as a student, and that's also fine. But you do not need to know any of these programming languages to be able to run this simulation. Like we said, we use the AI agents to build everything that we need. Our part is still taking time to load. Okay, while it's loading, okay. I don't know if we can take questions midway while it's loading. So we won't be expending time. Can anyone hear me? Are there any confusions so far? Okay, Unilag has a question. Mrs. Star, can you confirm? Mrs. Star, can you confirm that we can have questions while we wait for it to load? Okay, Unilag, please, you can unmute to ask your question while we wait for it to load.
Well done, ma. Thanks for the lecture. This is my question. You know, as a teacher in the class, we have the time limit of like 40 minutes. And when I followed you, I put my topic and what I got, it said that until April 24th, before it can be used on my phone. So now, and the one you are loading is taking time for it to load. So how can we manage this in the class? Using the minutes, like 45 minutes in the class, so that another teacher can come in. Thank you.
Okay. It's ideal to use, yes. So it's something you have to create. You know, when you're creating your lesson plans, you don't create your lesson plans in class. You create it before you come to school or to the class. So this is something you prepare before time. You use it in preparing your teaching tools and whatsoever to make sure that your teaching experience is fine. So you don't do it during the class. And it's usually faster. The faster your internet, the faster it loads. And to get the best experience, you can use a computer or a laptop, a desktop or a laptop. Ma'am, did I answer your question?
Fortune, are you done?
No, we're
Or
waiting
you
for
just picked
this
up questions
load.
because
Yes, because it's
okay.
loading. Okay, Orca window on America.
While we take some questions, I had about 2 more cities that wanted to ask questions. Yeah, so I want to give the floor to Orca.
My
After
question
Orca,
is,
we have Mina.
how can we prompt this GitHub to give us an animation on subjects like, for example, I'm teaching geography. If I want to teach students topics like tectonism or how mountains are being built, is there any way we can prompt this agent to give us an animation that students will see how the collision or how the extension is happening? Thank you.
Yes, okay, yes, definitely you can do that. So I'm sure everybody here knows ChatGPT.
Yeah, so
you know,
wait,
all these generative.
just hold on.
Okay.
Hello, Fortune, hold on. I think, Mina, the floor is yours. You still have questions or you? Mina, your hands are up. Are you still there? Are you hearing us? Okay, I don't think they are still hearing us. So, Fortune, you can attend to that question. Thank you.
Okay, so you asked if you can use this, you can prompt this to create a geography simulation. You can use it to do anything. So I'm sure you know about Gemini AI, you know about ChatGPT. So the ideal thing to do, because you might not be as accurate as you should, you just voice out your desire to ChatGPT or any of the generative AIs. You tell it that I want to teach my students on this topic, and I need a prompt for GitHub code spaces to be able to generate an animated simulation for this, that. Give me a very detailed simulation. And ChatGPT will do that. And all you have to do is come to this place, paste it on, describe what you want to build, and then it does it for you. Then you'll be able to load it and see it.
I don't know, Fortune, it will be good to check the internet you're using, because this is taking too long. And we didn't have that problem with Ekene, because I mean, it's actually on the same space. So maybe you should check and be able to. So thank you, Fortune, while we're waiting for your interaction to load. I don't know if there are other questions, but let me check the chat. And yes, those who are asking for the presentation, of course, we're going to send you the presentation after this. Fed tools, can it be used for English presentation? Yes, like we told you, English and literature, for now, it is basically science developing it, focusing. And so that's why we tried to show you the code spaces where you can actually build your own simulations yourself, depending on what you want. From Bini says, first, interactive simulation is very helpful, but the challenges are that they are no devices or facilities to apply it in the classroom. I want to take this because actually I'm also in the teaching space. I work with educators, I train them and a lot. So basically, I think we should always be in a space of not making excuses. I remember Paul about 4 years ago from Kenya. I can't remember his surname right now. Dachiba or something. Please, you can check up his name. He won the Global Teacher Award. And how did he win it? And that was $1 million at stake, a teacher's award. I think it's a $1 million award. And he got that award by using just one laptop. He charges it, and his home is like 2 hours from the school. He goes, charges it, and students about government schools too in Kenya are not different from what we have in Nigeria government school. And he was able to use that to win the Teachers Award. This year, I know there's this lady from Oli Grammar School who is also making waves when it comes to the Global Teachers Award. She's also top 10. She's named top 10. So I don't know when they will finally name the. Go and look at what those teachers are doing in their classrooms. Government schools, amazingly, even if it is their own one laptop and one phone, to use it innovative, and they have used it to come up to scratch up a lot of awards. There's also this young man too, who got 50, who was named 50 top in that same global award last year, who uses Yoruba to teach in classrooms, to teaches maths and physics and all that. So please be innovative about it. Don't just come and say, oh yes, drop it on our laps that, okay, you finished teaching us and we are not able to use it because we don't have laptops. I know FED has an offline version where you can actually download it before you come to classroom to be able to use it. I think also this GitHub has an offline version too, where you can actually finish using it and then download it and then be able to use it in your classroom, so that we're not full of getting trained. We expect that we should be innovative about it. Thank you so much. Then I have another question. It says, as a teacher, how do I ensure to depend too much on AI instead of exercising their critical thinking? Well, this has always been on the space. There's been to fortune. She told you that prompt engineering is a practical. In fact, some schools have started doing prompt engineering in maybe master's level and all that. When you talk about using AI, I look at it as not just limiting your students. Even if you use AI to do a lot of things, I see that some people use it creatively. I've been on competitions, and when I pick up a paper or a submission, I get to know whether it is AI or it's not AI. So I look at how people have created, and I see some people who have also used that AI, but they used it creatively. So I mean, it's not something we want to debate about whether AI is here for real, and all we should just begin to think about is how to make it more innovative, how to use it innovatively. Like Fortune told you now that if you go and prompt GitHub code spaces and just tell it create an animation for me, you see one funny thing to create one line animations for you. Yeah. So, but if you go to, like she said, first of all, go to generative AIs like ChatGPT, Gemini, and all that, or Cloud, and ask it, oh, see, I want to ask my co-spaces to provide an animation that I'll use in my class to teach digestive system for grade 4. Please give me a very detailed prompt that I will use. You will see how it will prompt it. So basically, I think this is to be able to say we're using this AIs in a very innovative way. Thank you so much. I don't know if Mina still has their hands raised up. If not, I don't know. Fortune, I don't know what's happening to your generation. It's not even coming up. I don't know what's happening.
American Center Abuja has their hands up.
Okay, Abuja. Oh, sorry. Okay, so Abuja, the floor is yours. You can ask your question.
All right, good day, everyone. My name is Nanle and I'm an ICT teacher. So my question is, I like the fact that you brought this up because this is like an ICT tool which we all use in developing. That's GitHub. And I like the fact that we're using AI in GitHub now. It wasn't like this years ago. And it's helping us kind of teach, it's helping to assist us teach coding to our students. And this helps a lot because we don't have to teach the whole HTML and all the other things that we do at the basic level. However, my question is like, if someone's teaching biology, for instance, how is this more of an advantage for the person over using, say, Canva to prompt a simulation to teach maybe the same thing that I would have liked to teach? For instance, like photosynthesis, I think there are other AI tools that could be helpful to teach or to stimulate such a thing, other than having end up being a web project or an IT project. I like the fact that you brought this very helpful.
Were you able to answer this? No, someone asked this. Okay. Yeah. So we have a second person here to for you to take the second one also.
Okay, so my name is Abdullahi. I teach mathematics. You were trying to simulate something. and I don't know, it has been itches all along. So my one is like a request. Can you show us something you've done earlier? Let's just have a feel of it instead of waiting for this one. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to answer you because it's quite quick to answer you. That's what I'm trying to load. So you preview what you do via ports, and before you can download them, you have to do some things like committing, and then you now download the code, and then you deploy. So we don't have time for that today, so we're not going to do that. So for the young man that asked concerning something about Canva AI, yes. So I like the fact that you said you are an ICT teacher. So one thing that is lacking in the Nigerian school system is that students in secondary school, they don't learn how to code early enough. So this would be like killing two birds with one stone. You're basically teaching them how to code and also the simulations. And then how is this advantageous for a biology teacher? The teacher would not just be able to do the work, they can get the students to do it. The teacher can decide, okay, your assignment is generate a GitHub code spaces, generate a simulation or generate an animation of photosynthesis on GitHub code spaces. And the students will just share it to the teacher directly on that GitHub code spaces. And the teacher will be able to get it. And you see, the students are learning. Unlike Canva, yes, Canva, the students can also do that, but it's the presence of another AI does not cancel out the existence or the usefulness of the other. Do you understand? So, but this one, you can be more detailed. You would also see what is causing what. Because one thing about people today that say like, oh, AI is going to take the job of programmers is actually, or AI is going to make a lot of people that are learning programming to be learning in vain, is actually a false statement to me, because you still need to have an understanding of it to understand what works. So you have to know, okay, why is this button clicking? Why is this button not clicking? Yes, you can tell the AI to do that every single time, but what's the point of learning if if you cannot do it by yourself as well? If the internet is down one day, would you be able to create this simulation? You understand where I'm going, right? But yeah, you can use other tools. You can use any other tool. Okay, Calabar has a question. So I'm still trying to load the terminal. Thankfully, the files have come up, so I'm waiting to load the terminal. So, okay, Abuja, you still have a question?
So I think. Oh, now they go.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yes, Calabar, thank you.
Okay, from Calabar, my name is back on Genesis. My question is, I want to ask, how can this model be adopted in rural communities where there is no access to internet? These two simulation software, you are aware that in underserved communities, access to laboratories is not there. So how can young people who are learning have access to these real-time things to enhance their learning abilities? So is there a model, is there an offline model that can be used to teach?
Yes, so Sister previously said for pet simulation, for example, there is an online version. For Google, for this GitHub code spaces, you would have to launch your simulation and then download it. You have to already have it ready. Like you have to have it already as a website. You have to launch it, but you cannot access it offline unless you I don't think you can access it offline, honestly, but you can actually access pet simulations. There's an offline version. You can download simulations before you go to classes. Yes, underserved regions, the students might not have access to all these tools, but as a teacher, I believe teachers will have access to these internet connections and these websites. Okay, Mina has a question.
me now. I've been calling you. I don't know. Is it that? Try and check. Are you unmuted? Because we can't hear you. And if it's an old hand, you can drop it so that we are sure we are moving. I think at this point, maybe we will have to call on the last person. Fortune, can you show us what you have done with it before? Just show us what you have done if the new codes are not working so that we can move on.
Well, you have to launch it directly from your code space. So if it doesn't load and your port doesn't load as well, you won't be able to access.
Okay. Okay. While we're waiting for all of that to happen, I think we're going to actually.
Good afternoon, Fortune. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good afternoon.
Okay.
Okay, so this is from the Windows on American Media. So can we ask our question?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can ask your question.
All right, so our first question is, how can GitHub help me as a classroom teacher?
Okay.
How can GitHub help me as a classroom teacher? Did you get
Yes,
that?
I did. Yes, I did. Do you have another question?
Okay, thank you. That's the question.
Oh, okay. So we talked about it. That's basically the introduction of everything.
That's
You
all for
can use
now. Thank
GitHub code
you.
spaces to create. All right. So I was saying that that's the basis of everything. You can use GitHub code spaces to generate simulations to teach any subject. You're basically creating a website that launches a simulation on any topic you want to teach. So that's how it can help you as a teacher. Instead of doing the old school writing notes on the board, some students are more engaged visually, some are engaged when they have hands-on activities. So GitHub code spaces can help you do that. When you create whatever you have to be creative with it as well, because you're basically prompting the AI. You're telling the AI, I want to build something like this for this and this. So you have to get out of your own head and all the limitations and just tell the AI that this is what you want to achieve, and then you can do it. So that's how it can help you as a teacher. American Center, Abuja.
Okay, good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Richie. And the question goes like this. How will you as a teacher balance the use of AI and the types of exams the students are facing these days?
And sorry, I didn't get your question.
So how do we as a teacher balance the use of AI and the types of exams the students are facing these days?
Did you say tasks of exams?
Types of questions.
Okay, types of exam questions.
Yeah, like WAEC, NICO, and
Oh, okay. Okay. So basically, as a teacher, I'm not going to tell you what a teacher does because you're a teacher. You're basically trying to help the students achieve the best results, right? So if you're preparing a student for WAEC, for example, you can feed the another AI tool that's going to help is the one the next speaker is going to talk about. So you can feed these topics to the AI and tell the AI that it should generate like you can even use this AI to generate like a CBT simulation of questions on certain subjects, something like that. You can use PhET simulations to generate to view simulations and engage the students with it. One thing that helped as a student, when I was a student, my chemistry teacher used PhET simulations, so it actually helped. So we must ensure, the teacher must ensure that the students understand the basics before going to the whole thing, because WIAC is like a bunch of basic questions that are now built up over time. Like, even if they just teach you one topic now, the most basic part of that topic, the most complex part of that topic is what WIAC can ask you. So you can use AI to get such questions. So how do you balance it? It's as simple as just sitting down and pressing your phone. Really, you don't have to do any mental work. The best way you can do is, if you want to do like a mental dump on the AI, just record a voice note telling the AI that this is what you want to do. You can express your feelings, how frustrated or confused you are. It will definitely pick up on all that. So when you get your prompt, if you want to use it on GitHub code spaces, the same way, just copy and paste, the AI will generate something. When you're running it and you see there's an error, you ask the AI that this is the error, the button is not clicking, something, and then it works it out for you. So that's still another question from American Center, Abuja.
Yeah, that would be all for now. Thank you, Fortune. Yeah, so we're going to be bringing up the next trainer. Mr. will be taking us on the last large language model. So that's what is going to be taking us on. We're going to see how we're able to do that while Fortune continue to try to generate. If you're able to generate that after his class, we can still show it to the class to be able to understand what you were trying to. You can have time to maybe reload your laptop and all that. So Mr. Chris is a data analyst. He will be taking us on this course immediately right after this introduction. So Notebook LM is also something attached to your Google, your Gmail. If you have Gmail, then automatically you have this software there. And it's also an American born software to be able to make classroom teaching research. It's usually used by researchers, teachers. It makes teaching very fun. I don't know if you will be able to exhaust all that Google Notebook LLM does, but please, after this class, you should go and try it. It does a lot. It can produce podcasts. It can make the class so interactive for students who don't even want to read their notes. They can upload their notes and it's able to read it to them. They can be lying down and all that. So it's a whole lot. So he's going to also teach us how we're going to be able to use it to do simulations and all that and make it very interactive. Thank you, Mr. Chris.
Thank you, Ms. Stella. I see your network is unstable. Please, thumbs up if you can hear me, so that I'll start sharing my screen. Okay. That's good one. Thank you very much. Okay, let me. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Adugba. I shall take you on STEM teaching with notebook AI simulation. Before I start, I would like to also begin this session with this. Today's session focused on STEM teaching with US AI solution simulations for enhanced classroom impact. This initiative reflects the global leadership of United States in advancing education through innovation, research, and technology integration. The American government has played a critical role in shaping modern STEM education. So today, I am going to take you on this. The topic is designed to guide you through integrating advanced AI tools into modern classroom. This initiative is supported by the US mission, American Space and Freedom 250, reflecting the United States global leadership in advancing education through innovation and technology. So we move over to the next slide. The primary objective of this session is to enhance classroom impact using US developed AI simulations. We are targeting four objectives, 4 outcomes. 1, at the end of this lesson, you should be able to apply STEM concept to real life high-stake problems. You should be able to develop advanced critical thinking and structured collaboration skills. You should also be able to learn to integrate AI tools like Notebook LM as core pedagogical instrument. You should also understand how to make data-driven decisions. Then, what is this STEM? It's not just the 4 subjects, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It's an integration, an integrated focus, which focus on problem solving, critical thinking, and also innovation. So this lecture is going to be hands-on. It's going to be, let me say, a do as I do, because all of us are going to be engaged. So it's something you need to follow through so that at the end of the day, you can be able to take back something. So please, just be said, I have shared the data already so that by the time we get to Notebook LM, I will not just explain. As I'm explaining, you follow through with whatever I'm doing so that you get acquainted with the platform. So it will make it more easy for you to learn. So that is how situation like this, you learn. You do as I do. So we move further. This is the Notebook LM. It looks like an engine, the grinding engine we have in our various homes. When you load your foodstuffs, the engine grinds it. When it grinds, it will give you output. So notebook, you need data. You load data into the notebook. It will now process the data. Processing the data is what you ask the engine to do for you. It will process it and then give you what you want. It will summarize everything. It will give you actionable insights And then whatever question you ask is going to give you based on the content of the data you put in. It doesn't go outside like ChatGPT. If you ask question, it can go outside the source and source for what you want from you. But Notebook restricts the answers from the data you load into the machine. So that is why it seems a bit different from ChatGPT, though it is an AI powered platform. So that is the forum. So we move further to the next slide. Now, this term, I decided to use smart agriculture as a case study. Why do I use smart agriculture? This is because it's relatable and urgent.
Stop talking. I received a call.
Particularly,
I received a call. After the call, I don't hear anything again.
Please, can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you. Yes. As I was saying, I'm using agriculture because it's relatable and it's urgent, particularly in Nigeria. It naturally integrated because it combines all the four STEM areas. Then it directly addresses massive real-time problems like food security, which we all know. So now, what is the problem? We have to design a problem to enable us to simulate this topic to align with STEM. So the problem I generated to simulate is based on the data because the problem has to align with the data available that will load to the Notebook platform. Farmers are experiencing dangerously low crop yields. Now, what is the root cause? Depleted and poor soil nutrients, or highly irregular and unpredictable rainfall pattern, particularly in the northern region of Nigeria. Now, this problem, let's align it with STEM. Let's see how, because whatever we are simulating, it has to align with STEM. So this is the STEM. Now, what part does science play in this simulation? Science analyzing soil fertility, plant nutrient requirements, and specific climate effects. While technology is the deployment of Notebook LM for rapid data ingestion and analysis. Then the engineering talk about the physical irrigation or precision fertilization system based on the data, while mathematics is running statistical analysis on historical rainfall patterns and yield statistics. So this is our STEM. We are going to apply STEM to this simulation. So now this is the first step simulation cycle. So it's very, very iterative. It's very simple for all of us to understand. Even with this, once you are able to understand the Notebook LM itself, it becomes easy for you to generate topic, simulate with students. So now let's look at it. The number one is, first, you have to get to the Notebook environment. When you get to the Notebook environment, you now load your data. Just like what I said, that engine. You have the engine, you now load your food into the engine. Then the engine will now process. What will the engine process? Your food. Then you know there are adjustments in that engine. For instance, if you didn't tie the engine well, it won't grind well. So that is where we'll ask questions for us to get the real answers we want. And then we now get our actionable insight from our question. So let's now move to the notebook LM. Here, all of us are going to be involved. So if you want to access this platform, it's just on your own go. I think Mrs. Stella has already given us a guide on how to get to this platform. So I want to urge those of you with system, it's better you just go to the platform. Let's start working together. So it will give us a better understanding than for me talking and you're listening. So when we get there, whatever I'm doing, all of us will do it together. So with this, I'll now move straight to the Notebook LM platform. So this is I hope you can see me. Please confirm if you can see me from there. Only one person, please. I need a lot of thumbs up to be sure that, and I hope we are following it. I hope I'm not rushing you. Please be sure that you people are good. Okay. You're happy, I'm happy. Thank you very much. So let's move on. All of us are going to lecture ourselves today. So this one is more interactive. Now, this is the platform. How many of us have accessed it? Please, just give me thumbs up if you are there. Let me see how many of us will follow. Okay. All right, that's good. That's good. Well done. Now let's proceed. This platform has 3 segments. And this segment perform different functions to make it interactive. Now we have yes.
We're only seeing your PowerPoint.
Okay. But I thought somebody was saying. Okay.
You have to lower your PowerPoint and then
upload
the other one.
All right, sorry. All right, can you see me now?
Not yet, sir.
Okay. Let me see. Maybe I have to. Okay. I'm sure you can see it now.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Good. So we have 3 segments in this platform. Number 1 is the source. Now I explain. The source is where you generate your data. You load your data. Any data you load, you see it on your source. You can load data from your system, already prepared data from your system, from your device, or you can load from website or from Google Drive. Then another way of loading data, you can search. And then when you search, you import it and you now make it a source so that you can work with it. Because the platform doesn't go outside the loaded data, the data that is available as source for it to work with. So now we are going to start loading data. That's why I say everybody should be here so we can work together. So we are going to start loading data now. So we should all follow this. If you have the data, I've shared the data. I don't know if you are with it. So if you are not with it, let's see how we share it all together. Are we all with the data? Please confirm if you have the data so that we start loading. Okay. We now go to add data, add source. When you click on add source, you see from website or fast search, just like what I said, you can search, or you now load from your files. The one you are loading from file must be PDF, must be in PDF format. And then we have a from website, drive, and then you can copy and paste also. So, but my data are already in my system. So I'll just go straight to load my data. I'm explaining, I'm also simulating so that we understand, and then given the available time, so we can work within the space of time. Thank you. So these are my data. I have first soil data report. I'll click it and I'll load it. You see the data running on source. That means it's here. You see, now we have it. Then we now add another one. I have 4 data for this, for the purpose of this simulation. Then I'll add this one. This is the rainfall record. So I'll add it too. I'm taking it gradually so that we all follow. That's number 2. I'll go again. I'll add crop yield data. Add it too. Then finally, now the interesting thing about this platform is that you can select the data you want to work with. Having loaded all these ones, I can still select the ones I want to work with in case I don't need all of them. I don't need information from all of them. Look at here, say select all. It's tick all. I can deactivate this one, deactivate this one. So anything I'm doing, it only get the source. Anything I ask, it only get the source from those ones that are ticked. So, but for the fact that I need all the data, I'm going to take all of them. So now the charts. Now let's go to the main simulation. Here, this is where the chart section is where we do the proper simulation. Now we now ask questions. The questions, we are simulating STEM. The question will come, 1 from science, 2 from technology, 3 from engineering, 4 from mathematics, for us to fulfill the STEM capability. So, but before we ask questions, we'll do some configuration here. These are the configuration. We now design how we want our response. Do we want it default here? Can give you the default setting. Do we want it? Do we want learning guide or want to customize it?
Sir, something is covering your screen.
Yeah, it's not showing.
On the left side of your screen.
Okay.
There's a window you opened. There's a window opened on the left side of your. No, not that one. No, not that one.
Not this one.
The other side. The other side.
Okay. Sorry. Let me see. There's a wind.
There's something blocking.
Just a blank screen, more or less.
On your right side. Sorry, on your right
Okay,
side.
I'm trying to remove it. This one.
You can't see it, but that thing is still there. And then there's another one too blocking. Probably you go out and come in again. Good.
Is it okay?
So you are out completely now. So you now
Okay.
come back.
Okay. Can you see me now?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay, I'm coming. Are you seeing me now?
Yes, we're seeing the screen, but you're also blocking the screen.
I'm blocking the screen. What am I doing? That is. Sorry, let me see.
Your own picture is there.
Okay. So you can see me now.
Still coming up. Not yet here.
Sorry, I'm trying to.
It's here, but your picture is there. I think you can just continue.
Is it blocking the interface?
But just continue. At least you'll be able to.
Why is it blocking? Is it my? Let me see. Sorry. Need to. Let me see what is blocking it.
Okay. I think it's okay like this.
It's okay like this, right? Okay. So we are in chats. Like I said, we can customize our response, whether we want it long or we customize it to our own need, or we want it short, or we use it as a learning guide. But for the purpose of this exercise, I think we should leave it at default so we can proceed. So you save. Then we are going to start asking questions now. This is the simulation proper. So why I'm doing this, since we are finished with source, we know how to download, to upload document, load the machine, charts, then we'll see how we're going to chart before we now go to studio and explain the features in studio and then make it interactive and then see now know what and what. So what we are, let's say from the science, now based on uploaded document, based on uploaded document, comma, scientific article, some uploaded scientific article, science article. What are the, you can follow me and what are the viable, what are the most viable, scientifically backed, scientifically backed method to instant soil effect, instantly improve soil fertility for high yield crops. For high yield soil. Yield crops. Now enter. Now you can see the answer from here. To instantly improve soil fertility for high yield crops based on provided source. You can see it's telling us based on provided source to show you that it doesn't go outside the source. The most viable scientifically backed method includes this. That means that. So one good thing, another good thing about this platform is that any answer is giving you citation, where it got this answer from, for you to know where the location of the answer is. At first, probably you did not really take the document, you did not really take the document you uploaded, but this will now guide you, take you back to that document, that this is where I got my answer. For instance, look at this number 2. It's telling us where it got the answer from. So if you click it, it will take you to, if you click this number 2, it will take you to where it got the source it got the answer from. So it got the answer from crop yield statistics. Crop yield statistics. So this will obstructed my power supply. So that is where it got the answer from. So we are still going to chat more. We are still going to chat more. So we may likely not chat too much because of time, so that we do other things. For this one, let us go to studio. Because on your own, you can be asking questions to get answers. So, but let's go to video and see what the studio has for us. Now, this is the studio. We have about how many features in the studio? About 9 features in the studio. The audio here generates an AI podcast based on your source. Everything here is based on your source. So let us try this one now. So it's generating. To scroll down, you see that it's generating. Then we can also use here to generate slide. It will still generate slides for us for this your source. From everything is going to do for us here is coming from your source. This is just like giving you the answers in maybe slide form, audio form, video form. You can even give you
Hello. Yeah, I think we can't hear Mr. Chris anymore. If we have any questions, basically, though he has not finished, I think whenever I put on my video, I see that I'm okay. I think he's back now. Mr. Chris, are you there? Okay. Okay, so I don't know if we have any question. I actually wanted us to see what Mr. Chris has for us, but I don't know. Okay, some people are saying we should bring back Fortune. GitHub generated finally. Fortune. Hello, Fortune. Please give me a thumbs up if you're hearing me, because I'm actually not hearing anybody. Don't know where the challenges are from.
We can hear you.
Is anyone hearing me?
We can hear you.
Oh,
We can
thank
hear
you
you.
so much. Thank you for that. Because nobody was. Fortune, Mr. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Fortune, are you still there? Have you been able to generate? Because some people truly wanted to see what you generated. Okay, Mr. Chris too, I don't know. Are you back? I don't know if he's back too.
Please, let's be patient. Our resource persons are trying to get back.
Hello, Fortune. Okay, I think I don't know if you can hear me also, and I don't know what's happening today. Okay, so please, so sorry about all of this. Network glitches. I have Mr. Dan too and Mr. Chris too went off. I don't know if there are general questions. Let's just take it the room lively while we wait for her. We just have a few minutes though, but so can we ask questions? And so, but before then, okay, if there are no questions, okay, I want to say that please, I will have my video off because I'm also having some network issue. Okay, Mr. Chris, are you back?
I'm back. I'm back.
Okay, so please have the floor.
Sorry. Sorry for the breaking. The power surge. Can you still see my screen? Please confirm if you are seeing my screen.
No, sir.
You're not seeing. Okay, let me. Okay. I think somebody's sharing.
Please try again.
Okay. Okay. Okay, we are good to go. Please, sorry for the breaking transmission. It was just right. Quickly, I'll go back to upload my document. So I can just run it at once since we all have gone through this page. So I can just quickly run all the documents. All right. Okay. So just to run through it, let me not go back to, let's just see how we work within the space of time so that we get exactly what we are looking for. It's just a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to be comparing localized rainfall pattern over the exact last 5 years. Compare and contrast the rainfall pattern, localized rainfall pattern over the exact last 5 years. Okay. All right. Yeah, this is it. Over the last 5 years, the localized rainfall pattern has shown a consistent downtrend in both total volume and frequency, transitioning from reliable distribution to regular and drought-prone condition. So these are the answer. All these answers are gotten from we may not have time to read through, but this is just to show you how the system works. So when we have our time, we are going to give more time to it. It's just for you to appreciate this platform and how it can be used to simulate any subject. It can simulate more than 25, from 15 to more than 25 subjects. You can simulate it. This platform is very robust. So we can also ask questions. What primary factors are currently affecting our crops? Now let's ask this one again. What primary factors are currently affecting our crops? What primary factors are currently affecting our crops? So this is it. So let's now. So let's. These are the changing rainfall pattern and climate stress. We have this other one, declining and irregular rainfall. This what affect our crops. These are the so. So sorry, I'm just trying to force it. Okay. Honor, don't. All right. So this is
Mr. Chris, it looks like we're not hearing you again. Okay, thank you so much. I hope I'm audible.
You are. You are audible, ma'am. Hi, Stella.
Yes, are you hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing you.
Okay. So I mentioned that for the FET is actually a simulation software that you can use to teach your student right away, immediately, based on the fact that they have already made up simulations that you can use in the classroom. For code spaces is for more of techie people who want to use a website to demonstrate what they are teaching to their students. So more, I know that this will be loved by a lot of ICT teachers, teachers who are in love with coding or who have done coding before. That will be one platform they will use and love. And then for the Google Notebook LLM, Mr. Chris was trying to put us through it. I don't know, but network has not allowed that to happen. But you can actually try it. It's very easy. You can I listened to the podcast one day. I was so happy. You can listen to all. I mean, load your notes, your notebook. I mean, your classroom notes. So you can just, so that it doesn't go wide, you can just load your notebook, what your notebook is, and then you can, I mean, a lot of people are even using notebook LLM to, especially students, to make money. So what they do is they load their old notebooks and then they put it to regenerate it. When it's regenerated, they have a platform where it is sold. I mean, that's the whole thing about. I'm just saying this is a side talk, but I'm just trying to tell you that technology has come to stay and has given us a lot of access, a lot of things. And in fact, sometimes you can even do the notes in a person's handwriting. So it's enormous what it can do. So basically, we have seen those three software. So I think. Based on this notes, I don't know if there are questions. Again, I'm asking for the last time because we should close in the next 5 minutes. So if there are any other questions that we didn't answer or that we overlooked, we can just take it and then wrap up. So I think there are no questions. I think, let me check. Oh, there's one. This Simioluwa, I know you're not. Are you in any of the American spaces? Because it's supposed to be that you're in an American space. Are you in any of the spaces?
No, please, I'm not in any of the American spaces. All right. Okay. And I've also sent out, I've also written out my question in the chat box, but I just hope it's been answered.
Thank you. Okay, so basically, any of the other spaces that have questions, we just have 5 minutes to round up. And please, after this call, I think they will share with you, the spaces will share with you the survey, the post survey. We want to see how we are fed on this particular, so that we know how to improve better. And an email will be sent to you on all the training materials. Everything we have, we're going to send to you, both the PowerPoint and all the. I see Maduguri hands up. Yes, Maduguri, you have not asked the question today. I'll give you the floor before.
Thank you very much. I have a question for you, please. Can you 2 seconds? Please first. Okay. Good afternoon. Okay. So just so that we can know this.
We can hear you, Maduguri.
Hi, good afternoon. Well, just go ahead. Yes, my question is, after this program, sometimes as teachers, I'm a math teacher. So when
you use ChatGPT. Let's say you want to set questions. You set question on this, or maybe mathematics questions and have equations. For you to copy these things from the ChatGPT to maybe a different workplace where you want to use it, the equations will be scattered. I have tried it many. There is no solution for this. I don't know, in a platform like this, what am I supposed to do so that the equations I get from the ChatGPT will not scatter when I copy them?
Okay, thank you so much. You know that the format, sorry? So the format you use to ChatGPT actually uses, the best way to do, if you click on whatever you get as your answer, you will see a copy sign. There's a copy sign. There's a two boxes. You click on it, actually does. But because you know the platform you're using to maybe you're going to that thing, that you can actually do the formatting yourself. You can also help to format it yourself. Sometimes to agree with you, it does, but you can do the formatting and then get to that, basically. Yes, so thank you so much. Please make sure you fill your post-survey, your pre-survey, and your post-survey. I told you that some of the software has been paid for, so you can even go beyond, like for the FET, you can go beyond just using the ones that you have done already. You can build your own person space. So please make sure you are doing that. I don't think it would be nice to come for this program and not fill up our pre and post survey. Please make sure you're filling that. And I think on this note, we want to say it was a wonderful, I had a wonderful time. Yes, the slides, every of the presentation I said will be sent to your emails. So make sure you, I think there's an attendance sheet that was provided. Please make sure you fill it so that your email can be captured, and then I think that will be sent to you. Put the slides and
Stella,
and other materials that we have for you. If we have any other question, yeah. Yes.
Ms. Stella, can we still run through the studio?
I don't know. We have a time for 2 p.m. So I don't know. It's American Spaces coordinators that will tell us. Can we still take Mr. Chris?
Just few minutes. Let them just have a glimpse at the studio side.
Okay. Let me ask you. Okay.
Okay, so we'll just go straight to the studio, so, just to appreciate the features in the studio. So first, we start from the audio. The audio here, we have a deep dive. Deep dive is a conversation between two hosts, brief, just like a brief, just to brief you on the core ideas, and then critics. This one is just to review and then debate. So depending on which one you want, let's use a deep dive so we can appreciate this platform. And we can also do a video while this one is running. We can also as well do video where you see a structured comprehensive overview that connects the dot within your source. Then you can see a bit-sized overview to help you quickly grasp.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chris. Mr. Chris. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Chris.
Yes, ma.
Yes, thank you so much. I know that you have a learning guide too. Yes, I know you have a learning guide too for them.
Yes.
Hello? Yeah,
yes,
so
I have it for them.
So we are supposed to close by 2.
Okay.
And so the thing is so the learning guide will also be shared.
Okay.
And so we may not be able to go beyond 2 p.m.
All right.
Yes, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
So we appreciate you. So teachers, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Go beyond the time that allotted for this. I don't know if there's a final word, but like I told you, please fill up. Make sure you fill up our post survey.
Hello.
You have a lot of things to gain by filling it
Okay.
up. Yes, thank you.